Today, I'll be sharing various tips and tricks for room design in The Sims 3. We will explore the Create a Style tool, discuss color choices, and embrace storytelling within your builds. I will also demonstrate advanced furniture placement techniques and highlight essential mods that can assist you with all of these. Let's get started. First things first, consider the overall style you're aiming for. Is it going to be a family room or a retired rockstar's dungeon in the basement? This decision will help you not only achieve a cohesive look for the room, but also choose the right furniture. I prefer using vanilla furniture, and I don't overcrowd the rooms, ensuring my Sims have enough space to move around without getting stuck too often. Once you have the basic framework of the room, including all the necessary furniture, sitting areas, and activity objects, as well as the desired ambience, it's time to add more details. To do this, think even deeper about the Sim who lives there. Consider their personality, backstory, and the possessions that reflect their experiences. For a family room, you might want to include plenty of pictures on the walls, various clutter like a shoe rack and magazines or books laying around, and an assortment of plants and flowers. For a grungy music corner in the basement, think about a guitar hanging on the wall, vinyl records, a vintage music player, and perhaps vents covered in spiderweb to enhance that grungy vibe. Useful cheats and mods. Search bar by Lazy Duchess. With this mod, when searching for decorations and clutter that match the room's mood, you can use specific keywords to find objects. Usually, I open the decoration category and go to the tab with all objects. Then, I search for words associated with the style or story I'm aiming for. After finding the objects I like, I place them aside and then determine the placement within the space I'm designing. When placing decorations, you may find that the available slots on surfaces are insufficient. Sometimes you really want to place a clutter object in the middle, but it's not possible. That's when the One More Slot Please mod comes in. It adds a special shelf that allows you to place objects anywhere you want at any height you want. This is a must-have for clutter enthusiasts. And last but not least, one of the most important cheats in the game, Move Objects On. It allows you to place objects freely without worrying about intersecting spaces. The only thing is, sometimes you have to turn it on just to turn it off a second later and then turn it on again. Fortunately, you don't have to constantly type this cheat. Instead, you can use the Move Objects hotkey mod, which enables and disables the cheat with a simple press of the O key on your keyboard. It's smooth and easy. If you are unsure how to install mods for The Sims 3, I have a quick guide on my channel that explains it. Now, let's dive into the Create a Style tool. It's a powerful feature that allows you to customize the color and texture of almost anything in the game. However, it can be overwhelming and challenging to use. I have a few tips to help you make the most of it. Here's how it works. You select the tool, click on the object you want to customize, and a panel opens. Each object can have up to 4 parts that you can modify. You have the flexibility to change both the pattern and color of each part. There's a wide variety of textures and materials to choose from. You can adjust each pattern with the color, allowing for detailed customization. To streamline your work, you can easily grab and drop tiles onto different tiles to make them match. If you have multiple tiles that are the same, you can collapse them and change them all simultaneously. Additionally, you can rearrange the order of these tiles by dragging them in between. To achieve a cohesive look across various pieces, you can copy the material you created by grabbing and dropping selected tile onto a different object. This can be particularly useful for giving all objects the same wood or fabric textures, making them appear as if they belong to the same set. And if you want to apply the entire palette to another object, you can grab all of the tiles at once and copy them over. When editing walls and floors, you can specify which tile you wish to edit. If you simply click on the wall with identical covering, you will then change all connected tiles. However, if you click the wall while holding Shift, it will only change the one tile you clicked on. While dragging and dropping, it's reversed. Regular drag and drop only changes the part where you drop the preset, but holding Shift will apply the change to all tiles. Now let's talk about working with color. One common mistake is using colors that are overly saturated, which can make the room appear unrealistic and harsh. In reality, most everyday furniture and walls don't have strong, bold colors, so instead, select the color you want and tone it down, making it almost pastel. It doesn't have to look grey and washed out, but aim for a more pleasant and smooth appearance. This approach helps The Sims 3 graphics appear lighter instead of dark and heavy, even when creating a dark and moody environment. When applying a texture, ensure that the tiling, or how often it repeats itself, isn't too obvious. You can try to blend out the differences in color like I'm doing here. One of the tricks I use is researching color palettes from different rooms online. It helps me a lot in creating natural, good-looking spaces. I have a special browser plugin that allows me to copy the color value from a picture. Then I can go back to The Sims 3 and simply paste that value to apply the color to in-game objects. Extra pro tip: you can search for various wall colors online. Test the ones you like in the game, and once you have a good result, save it in your catalog for later. This will greatly expand your options and save tons of time in the future. To finish up your new room, spend some time on lighting and ambience. This is my personal preference, but I don't like to overfill the room with too many lights. Instead, I prefer placing just a few moody lights for the nighttime, so when the sun goes down, the room creates a cozy atmosphere rather than being too bright or evenly lit. If you have any tips you would like to share with the community, feel free to leave them in the comments. I would love to see if there's anything useful I can utilize myself that I didn't know before.